what an absolute treat Matchroom just gave to us Saturday night. Like him or not, Eddie always delivers. Two top Mexican fighters against each other. What does that usually mean? Fight of the year. 12-round war, or a war till someone drops, which is what I believe will be happening. What a tremendous fight. Sugar Nunez against Emanuel Navarrete. This fight is unreal for many reasons, and I don't believe that any fight can top this stylistically when you see this in December at the end of the year. Now, when you break them both down, we know what Sugar Nunez is. He comes forward, he's very selective with the way he punches, but again, he does waste punches, as you see there, and he does get picked off and counted by a lot of people with a much bigger reach than him. But when he has you on the ropes, he pins you down. He uses that front leg to creep forward, and the way he moves it, especially to move it to try and put it on the outside, especially when you're fighting a southpaw, that's key, which is what he did here. But he overreached with the first punch, but adjusted with the second. So he's a crafty individual, and he can use certain tactics like there, where he used his forearm to switch sides and then throw that left hand and follow up. So although he looks like a come forward, typical Mexican fighter, he's not one-dimensional as people realise or like to recognise, but overall, he's a solid fighter. I know he's just won the world title and he's not defended it yet, and it's his first defence, and may I say, what a person to choose to defend, as I believe this is a voluntary, not a mandatory. Credit to him, but he needs to be on his A game with someone like Navarrete, because if you're not, he will spark you out, as you'll see when he fought Liam Wilson. He was out for the count, and he put him out for the count. You got to be careful with people like that. But you see, he picked his shots well, but one issue that I do have here, he'll happily take 3 to land 4, which you can do, but not against people like Navarrete. You need to be controlled. Your volume punching needs to be to a T. You got to place your punches, you got to pick your punches. You don't throw and hope, as I always say, because when you get too comfortable in that regard, and then you get countered and you're the one on the canvas, time to resort to plan B, which I do believe something which I do struggle to see with in his fights is it's not really a strategy, it's more of the same things. What you see here against Diaz, it was the exact same thing, just he got the better of it. He 4 shots clean on his chin until he landed a good shot of his, which dropped him. But again, as you'll see there with that knockdown, great timing, but he gets caught easy, and you'll see with that foreman guard he has, he doesn't use it as well like someone like Teofimo does. He uses it to an extent, but not as well, not to an elite world level sort of accuracy where you can catch both punches and come with a hook to your own. He hasn't got that in his locker, so he sort of confuses himself. Where with Navarrete, he's been dropped, he's been hurt, he's seen it all. But the problem is he past his best? What you see in his last fight here against Suarez, if I'm completely honest, he had great moments, but he got caught with so many good shots where you did wonder, how is he not falling? But with Navarrete, he is one tough mother effer. He is tough in game as they come. He comes forward, but this is something that I don't like to see, where he has a great reach, but he gives it up. I understand that's his style and it's got him to the top, but you've got to show a bit of boxing ability and a bit of technicality with your reach to become more all-rounded. But I guess that's something which he's not interested in. Where you see there, simple left hook he got caught with, and he throws punches off his own, but he's just overreaching every time when he gives up that reach. But against someone like Suarez, who's not at an elite level, he didn't see through it, but then he got caught with a punch, got a cut, and then the fight got stopped, and somehow he won on the scorecards, even though it was a punch, not a headbutt, it caused a cut, and he was losing the fight. But that's boxing for you. But this is what he needs to do against Oscar Valdez. This is the blueprint in my eyes to beat Sugar Nunez. Someone who with a similar style, similar sort of reach, similar sort of frame. The way he just bullied him, put him on the back foot, made him work under his reach, but then he made him fall into the bait. He didn't just let him work under him and just land shots of his own. You'll see he caught that punch slightly and then landed a punch of his own, which rocked him. He's a very crafty individual, Navarrete, which is why I do believe he has more, how do we say it? He has a bit more about him in regards of making traps, creating openings, where Sugar Nunez, he has that, but not to the abilities of Navarrete, in my opinion. Now with Navarrete for his keys to victory, make him fall into the bait, like I just said, but back foot aggression. Let Nunez push you back and then land shots of your own, because again, he gets comfy when he's on the front foot, and as you see against Rikishi, he landed a few good shots of his own, but Navarrette's got power to put a dent in him. So this is your chance. And straight shots all night long. And when you do your straight shots, just make sure they're quick and timed perfectly, because against Nunez with his wide hooks, you could be the one putting him on the canvas before him. Now, with Nunez, for example, controlled volume punching, you got to pick your punches, because if you're going to throw and just throw like an absolute madman with no strategy and no thought behind it, Navarrete will pick you apart, even if he overreaches and it takes him a while because he hasn't got the sharpest IQ, boxing IQ, but he will capitalize on that with ease because he's seen it all. Work under his reach and again, be the bully, be dirty, because Navarrete, as good as he is, he's a very, very dirty fighter. And when he's dirty, he's when he usually overwhelms his opponents, get him out of there. But if you match it with him and you do it to the extent where you're like, oh my god, Nunez is more of a dirty fighter than Navarrete, then you're doing something right. And obviously make sure the ref don't see it, of course. But with Nunez, I think that is probably one of the biggest keys, because I feel with Navarrete he gets away with it, but he's fighting on Nunez's show, so he's got to show him who's the boss. Now, with that regard, and with both breakdowns of both fighters and how stylistically it might match up, if I'm completely honest, I do believe Navarrete, he might be a bit old, not in his prime, but I do believe he has more about him when it comes to offense, defense, IQ, timing, speed. He has a bit more, I'd say power's more in the regard of Nunez, but all in all, better boxer is Navarrete. Although he lacks certain flaws, which I've previously stated, I do believe Nunez has way more flaws than Navarrete, and I do believe it's too soon, because to win a world title and use Navarrete as a defence, outrageous, absolutely outrageous, a bit like Wardley with Dubois. But that is my fight prediction, that's what I'll be betting. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and as always, you've got a VIP betting group in the description below. But most importantly, this ain't financial advice, this is going to be what I'll be betting and backing based off my research.